So today we're taking a look at this. This is a Humax Foxsat HDR FreeSat device. Trying to see if there's a model number. Can't see one, but it's whatever this is. So it is quite a nice looking thing, and the problem with this is it was powered up, tried to take it out of standby, and a lot of smoke emitted from it, including a rather interesting fizzing noise. So I'm not going to power it on, because if there's smoke, it's very likely it's going to be a visible problem. So we're going to get straight into it, and I suspect that the problem is going to be in the power supply, because that's going to be the first point where power's going into it, and the most likely area where there's going to be fire due to the sort of current and voltages involved. So let's get this off. So if you do ever come across equipment that you know has suffered some kind of flammable, smoky event, don't power it on. Get the cover off and see if you can see visible signs of damage. If you can see visible signs of damage, that's very likely where your problem is going to be, in the area where there is the damage. So, only 3 bolts, or sorry, 3 screws holding that on. And what we have is, we have 3.5-inch spinning hard drive. So that is, I think, 500 gig. Let's have a look at the... Yeah, HDR 500 GB. So that is 500 gig. There is a little PCM CIA slot here, which is quite cool. It's internal, I think, or is it? Is there external provision for it? Nope. So that is possibly for, unless this comes, yes it does. Oh yeah, there it is. So that's a card slot there. Then we have obviously this main board arrangement here. We have this little thing here which looks like a plug-in satellite tuner, which it is. So the satellite tuner is separate, and then there's your main logic board there with all of your various SCART, HDMI, composite interfaces. This is the power supply board, and yep, there it is. You can see a little bit of smoke around there, so let's zoom in on that. So there is a little tantalum capacitor here, which has expired. You can see all the smoke scars around it, so that has expired. Now, what I'm going to do is take this whole board out, if I can. Looking at it, that might be slightly more difficult. I may have to do a bit of further disassembly first, such as getting this hard drive out of the way. So the hard drive is held in with a couple of screws. So what we'll do, we'll just zoom back out. So the hard drive is held in with a total of 4 screws. And it is a standard SATA hard drive. So I would guess this runs probably something like Android. So this has come out. There was a SATA connector, power connector, and another power connector here, which is for the fan here. So it seems the fan's sole purpose in life is cooling the hard drive. So here are a few RAM chips, which is obviously going to be for the little board here. Here is our power supply connector, so we can take that out. Then what we should be able to do is do 1, 2, and take out our power supply. Now what I'll do is we can actually disconnect this from the board, so that comes out the way. And then that just leaves us with this to take out. So there's 1 and 2. There we go. And there we go. So let's move this out the way. We don't need that at the moment. Okay, so negative towards this side. So there's no leakages around it, so that's a good sign. Right, 103.4 microfarads, ESR 1.6 ohms. It should be 120 at 450. Could argue that's a little bit low, so I've actually done a little bit of digging. The little capacitor there is a 100 picofarad 1 kV, so 1 kilovolt capacitor. Now I think earlier versions of this board had a lower rated capacitor in there, but because there seemed to have been a fair amount of failures, they were uprated. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put this back into circuit, and I'm going to get a little order on the go. So I'll probably get another one of those capacitors, because why not? Actually no, leave it unsoldered. I'll get another one of those, and I will get a proper replacement for that, because all of the replacements I have are 50 volt replacements. So what I'm going to do is I am going to leave that one in there and get a 1 kV 100 picofarad replacement for the small one there. That may have just expired of its own accord, to be honest with you. This one is, let's have a look at the diagram again. C2 is 103k, so that's 10 nanofarads. 10 nanofarads, 630 volts. So what have I got here? I've got 330 nanofarad, 100 volts. So yeah, I don't have replacements for that one. So I need to get some ordered in, which isn't the end of the world, but that might actually leave us with something that works, and works reliably. And I think that's it for the moment. So we've identified what I think the fault is. Now it could be possible that this could be playing up. Always a possibility, because if we look at the circuit, it does all tie into this, and it is a according to this, a Foxsat F3R offline switch mode power supply, current mode controller with integrated 650 volt cool MOS. Apparently, that's nice. Anyway, that's it for today. Thanks for watching.